The time between Christmas and New Year's has a peculiar rhythm. After the whirlwind of decorating, gift giving, and gathering with loved ones, the days that follow seem to exhale. Quieter, softer. For many of us, it's a rare pause. Time away from work as the year comes to a close. It is in this time that we often find ourselves reflecting. We recount the highs and lows, the things we achieved, and the things we didn't quite get to. It's easy to dwell on the more we could have done, the milestones we think we should have reached. But it's not always about the big wins like landing the perfect job, buying a house, or finally sticking to the fitness routine. Sometimes growth is quieter. It lives in the small, fleeting moments that bring us joy. So before we rush into writing next year's resolutions, what if we paused? What if we started by honoring the things that made this year beautiful? Because isn't that what life is really about? Filling our days with as much of what brings us joy as we can? With that in mind, here are some things that brought me joy in 2024. This year, I truly realized how essential spending time in nature is for my mental and physical well-being. Escaping the noise and heavy air of the city always left me feeling lighter, calmer, and more grounded. I found joy in the simple moments, pausing to admire the intricate beauty of flowers or gazing up into the tree canopies. We also planned many of our trips around exploring nature rather than cities, and it was a refreshing change that brought a sense of renewal and peace. This year, I rediscovered the joy of making things with my hands. From junk journaling to crochet and even clay art, I let myself dive into a variety of creative hobbies, some new and some familiar. It wasn't about perfection or the final product. It was simply about the process, about creating for the sake of creating. There was something freeing in that, something that rekindled my creativity and helped me explore what mediums truly resonate with me. At some point this year, I invested in a small but pretty powerful camera, one I can carry everywhere without worrying about space or weight. And it completely transformed my relationship with both photography and my phone. The photos I take with this camera feel more intentional and more meaningful. They're the kind of images I want to revisit, to print and to cherish, rather than losing them to a forgotten folder on my phone. Travel has always been a passion of mine, and this year I found joy in both revisiting beloved destinations and exploring completely new ones. It reminded me that it's perfectly okay to return to the same place time and time again if it holds a special place in your heart. At the same time, the thrill of discovering somewhere new brings its own kind of magic. For me, striking a balance between the familiar and the unknown is what makes traveling truly fulfilling. This year was all about reconnecting with my inner child, and moving to Japan was a catalyst for that in so many ways. For the first time in years, I had the space and time to revisit things that once brought me joy, but I had long dismissed as unproductive, like getting lost in fictional books. I even started listening to cassettes again, which gave me a newfound appreciation for music and reignited the thrill of owning something tangible, like a new tape, rather than having everything instantly available on streaming platforms. And somehow I ended up with an unreasonable collection of plushy toys. I've always loved good food and eating out, but in Sydney, it often came with a really hefty price tag. Here in Japan, it's been such a joy to enjoy incredible meals at relatively affordable prices. Being able to indulge in amazing food without constantly worrying about the cost has made dining out feel so much more enjoyable and accessible. This year, I began learning Japanese, and it reminded me just how much joy I find in learning a new language. It's not just about the words themselves, but the deeper connection it brings to the culture of a place. This year, I've come to appreciate more than ever what a privilege it is to spend quality time with loved ones. I was fortunate enough to visit my family in Germany this year, cherishing those moments of connection that feel even more special when living far away. I also got to spend so much time with my partner, as we were both taking a gap year and working only little. Having the space to simply be together without the usual rush of daily life has been a gift I'll always treasure. While I love the beauty of nature, I've realized I feel just as inspired by the creativity of humans. Living near several galleries with frequently rotating exhibitions has been such a treat this year. Exploring so many different art styles and immersing myself in the work of other creators has been both exciting and deeply fulfilling. It's like a constant reminder of the endless ways people express themselves. So, what brought you joy in 2024?